and welcome to Legal Affairs. My name is Diamond Liddy, and I'm the public defender of the 19th Judicial Circuit. We have a fabulous guest, and his name is Andy Treadwell, and we go way, way back, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But Andy, what is your, and I should have asked you before the show started, what's your formal title now with the college?
My formal title at Indian River State College is I'm the campus president of the Pruitt Campus in Port St. Lucie.
Go Ken Pruitt, right?
That's right, that's right. So the Pruitt campus is our largest branch campus. We have 5 campuses, Diamond. The main Massey campus is in Fort Pierce. The Pruitt campus is in Port St. Lucie, and we have campuses in Okeechobee, Stuart, and Vero Beach.
Great. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I hate to no, I don't hate it. I'm proud of it. I grew up here, and back in the day, it was Indian River Community IRSC. I still, want to say IRCC. But gosh, from it just started at so little, and now it's just Goliath.
It really is an impressive institution. We've been the best in the nation with the Aspen Prize.
I know.
We've been recognized with incredible philanthropic gifts, Mackenzie Scott included with her $45 million gift.
Right.
And we're just, we're hitting the ground running, doing all we can to serve our community and more.
Oh, and you do. Let's, before we talk about the college and some of the highlights and showcase some of the things that have happened and coming up and whatever. We'll never have time for it all today, but let's go talk about you.
Sure.
Where did, of course, we met back in the day when you were one of the President Senator Pruitt's aide, and did we know each other before then? I
don't believe so.
No,
Diamond.
I think that was the start. But tell us, you haven't lived here all your life,
I
correct?
have not. I grew up in Palm Beach County and went to school in Gainesville at UF, and after college, got to somehow work for the Senator's Foundation and a lobbyist down in Fort Lauderdale. And there's a little story about how I ended up here. I've lived in Port St. Lucie now for 17 years.
Right.
But I got a call from Ken, the good senator, and he goes, son, I want you to come work for me in Port St. Lucie. And, I was living off Las Olas at the time, young, about to get married. And I thought,
wow.
well, can I think about it? And
He's like,
he goes,
no.
of course you can.
Yeah.
So I went and I talked with the lobbyist who I was working for, and I said, I thought we were going to build something big here. And she goes, he's the next Senate president. You're moving to Port St. Lucie.
Yeah, see ya.
And I've been on the
With
Treasure
my
Coast.
blessings.
That's right. I've been on the Treasure Coast ever since, and I worked for Ken for about 5.5 years. Still think the absolute world of the man. He was truly a transformative leader here on the Treasure Coast and for the state of Florida.
Absolutely. So he heard about you all the way down in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, we had worked a little bit together in Tallahassee on his Bright Futures Foundation when he was doing his tour of every university and every college to make sure that we preserve Bright Future and perpetuity for the parents and students of the state. And I helped put together his Rally and Tally, which I'm sure you heard about.
Oh, sure.
With 3,000 plus students in 2004 on the steps of the Capitol. We had the Florida A&M Marching 100 there. It was a great day. And after that, Ken decided, let's put you on my professional staff,
right.
and I'll teach you a few things about the halls of the Capitol. And looking back now, I think I've been part of 18 legislative sessions in some form.
Yeah, wow, and that's a lot. That'll put hair on your chest, right, as they say.
Indeed.
Well, so 17 years ago, you moved to Port St. Lucie.
That's correct.
To help the Senate President, and you were with Ken in that position how long?
About 5.5 years.
Okay.
Then I moved over to the Economic Development Council of St. Lucie County for a brief period of time. But Dr. Ed Massey knew that I was very interested in higher education. I had worked on the bill that allowed us to do baccalaureate degrees, and that created the Florida college system. So,
wow.
He said, sometimes you got to be loyal to yourself. Where do you want to be? And it wasn't long before I was working in the office of the president at Indian River State College for Dr. Massey. And I did that for almost 12 years, right up until he retired.
Wow. And so we have a new president, who is
Dr. Tim Moore. He hit the ground in September of 2020.
okay.
Dr. Moore has a unique background. He hasn't worked at community colleges before, but he's been a vice president for research at 3 different land grant institutions, Kansas State, Auburn, and Florida A&M. So he comes with a very unique perspective in terms of what our college is able to do.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Well, he spoke at to our all-staff meeting at the Public Defender's
Wonderful.
office, and you know, I guess you have to say, yeah, he could sell ice to Eskimos. That's for sure. You know.
he is very energetic, very
Yes.
entrepreneurial. You know, I like to say that Dr. Massey did an incredible job building the profile of Indian River State College and getting us to where we need to be. And Dr. Moore comes with that next level of trying, as higher education morphs before our eyes, how we
Right.
address that, how we bring in more revenue, how we can take a traditional institution like a community college or state college and make it serve business and industry even better. So
Right.
I've been I've worked for nothing but unique leaders, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm very fortunate.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, Senator Pruitt, Dr. and I can't let the show go by without talking about what a class act Dr. Massey has been, and all the great things he and Senator Pruitt, with their friendship, brought to the Treasure Coast and to the college scene. I mean, incredible.
Well, Diamond, they hit the same stride at the same time.
Right.
You know, we had a leader in Ken Pruitt who understood the benefit of colleges like ours. There's 28 of them across the state. They serve all 67 counties. You know, our community and state colleges are our workforce.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, that's a good way to put, yeah.
They serve 800,000 students annually, whereas our universities are closer to 250,000.
Wow.
Our universities are our thought leadership. Dr.
Yeah.
Moore talks about this a lot.
Right.
So, you know, Dr. Massey and Senator Pruitt and a lot of our legislative delegation members worked very hard. That's why we're fortunate to have the Kite Center and the Brown Center and so many conference centers across all of our branch campuses. I mean, we are built for the future. And now we have Dr. Moore on the ground who's helping us to achieve that greater future.
Oh, no, I know. And for those of our viewers, I think it's important to point out, if you haven't, and I don't know if they do they do formal tours of the college or anything? I guess if you're a college student to be, of course they do. But people in this community, I've had the honor and privilege, because I've hosted stuff
Right.
at the college when we've had speakers that warranted larger audiences, and of course the college always welcomes the community or anyone in it with open arms to utilize it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you, Diamond, you know, when Dr. Moore came aboard, he said, I'm going to have an open door policy, and that just isn't to my office. It's going to be the entire college.
Right.
So we've worked very hard. We, of course, do give tours to prospective students. We want them to understand what types of programs we have, everything from where's the library to where's our student union. But we give tours all the time to leaders in our community, to CEOs of businesses. We want them to understand these are the programs we have. How can we better meet your workforce needs, your personnel needs? You know, we got to grow pipelines in areas. I'm fortunate to have Pete Tesh from the Economic Development Council on my campus in Port St. Lucie.
Oh, okay.
And we talk all the time about the skills gaps. You know, the Treasure Coast Skills Gap study that has reiterated over and over and over that we need more folks in logistics and distribution. We need more folks in the healthcare industry, particularly nursing. We need more folks in manufacturing and industrial skills trades.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Those right there, if you want to get into those areas, there are jobs available.
Oh yeah, and you know, it's so funny, especially in my age group. You know, it's you got to be a doctor or lawyer to make the bucks and be successful. Oh my goodness! I mean, everybody else is ahead of that curve now. I mean, you don't have to have a title. You can be, you can work in the nursing field, the computer field, whatever, and you can be Oh, you can have blue collar, so to speak, skills and make wonderful salaries.
I've paid quite a pretty penny to have an electrician or an HVAC tech come out off hours. Or, you know, I talked with our Dean of Nursing, Dr. Patty Gagliano, yesterday.
Right.
And we're excited. We just got our reaccreditation for the nursing program signed off on.
And I have to do this segue as we talked before the show. I just came from my Board of Trustees meeting at Longwood Hospital, where they have a dearth of applications for nurses. We need, and of course, Indian River State College was mentioned about helping and the collaboration and everything with the hospital and stuff. I mean, oh my goodness, talk about a job waiting to happen.
Well, Diamond, let's get into that.
Okay,
because nursing is a
please.
really exciting portion of what we're doing these days. And I was going to say, anybody who's interested in nursing, our Dean of Nursing yesterday told me that many of the graduates who just walked across the stage at commencement
have a job
in December already have jobs. They're already making more than $30 an hour, sometimes upward of $35 an hour in peak hours and off hours. I mean, the hospitals right now, I've talked to every CEO of all of the HCA hospitals, all of the Cleveland Clinic hospitals, and every single one of them has said every nurse you can produce we'll take.
Isn't that amazing?
And that is corroborated by the Florida Hospital Association report that says 59,100 nurses is the gap of what we're going to need by 2035. That's 13 years away. So I got to talk about one of the major initiatives at the college. When Dr. Moore came on the ground, he said, look, there's always been a historic waiting list to get into our nursing programs.
Right.
And here on the other side with demand, our hospitals needing nurses. We're that central piece. How can we address that?
Right.
So, you know, we took some of our foundation funds and we've committed $13.5 million to double the size of our nursing program, every single level, but particularly the ADN, your associate degree of nursing.
Right.
Right now, I think we produce about 135 ADNs a year. He wants to see that go up to 300.
Wow.
And I think he terrified our Dean of Nursing the other day.
I'm sure.
He said, you know, as soon as we finish doubling the program, we're going to double it again.
I was going to say, we're going to triple it, yeah.
So, you know, we're right now, that renovation and remodel is underway. We're renovating about 130,000 square feet of space on the Pruitt campus. So,
I was going to ask, but on the okay.
So we're going to centralize a lot of our School of Nursing right here in Port St. Lucie, which is sort of the population center. This is where the most growth is occurring. This is where the fastest growth is occurring. And we're surrounded by some of the largest hospitals. But Dr. Moore has challenged us all. This is a central piece of what we're going to do, but we're going to have to address all of the healthcare needs because it isn't just nurses that our hospitals need.
Right. Well, he was even talking, when he talked to our group, about doctors in a medical school. And, you know, I mean, he's not stopping at the nurses. But
Right. Well, we are statutorily bound to only up to baccalaureate degrees. But there's a lot of potential to partner with the right folks to make sure that, you know, not only are we producing nurses and, you know, radiological technicians or respiratory therapy techs, but, you know, we're going to need more doctors. We're going to need more advanced nurse practitioners. And while we can't confer those degrees, we can help others who may be able to help our area.
Okay, so an advanced nurse practitioner is not a 4-year degree.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
And, you know, I know enough about the nursing programs to be dangerous here.
I got you.
But I'm getting caught up very quickly, and fortunately, Dr. Gagliano is always on my heels teaching me about what's coming forward here at the Pruitt campus. So by 2023, we expect to have about 600 nursing students on the Pruitt campus,
Boy,
and that's going to be wonderful.
We need it, boy. So what? And I know, like I said earlier, there's no way we're going to touch on everything. You know, one thing we did not mention is that, you know, a lot of people, you know, are myopic in the sense they just know about IRSC's main campus, and they don't know about the Pruitt campus, which is huge. They don't know that IRSC is in all 4 counties, in Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, and Okeechobee, and that, you know, I mean, how many physical, I'm scared to ask actually, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How many, if you know the exact number, Andy, physical sites are there in the 4 counties?
Ooh, I want to say 10 or 11, Diamond.
That's amazing.
And you know, like I said, we do have 5 branch campuses, and we have some very impressive sites. We have a site in Indiantown. We have a site in Sebastian.
Oh, I did not realize that. Okay.
You know, we have a site in Lincoln Park there in the historic community of Fort Pierce.
Okay.
So we do try and get out inside of our communities to make sure that we're closest to where our students are and where they can be. So, you know, that's and you bring up a good point about, you know, some folks here and on the Treasure Coast have lived here a long time and don't know things exist. As the campus president of the Pruitt campus, I can tell you we're a little hidden away. You know, we don't have I-95 frontage.
Right.
We're not on one of the major thoroughfares. We're right next door to where the New York Mets do their spring training baseball, and I tell folks all the time, come on out, come see us. You know,
well, now,
I'll give you a tour.
For example, how many classrooms are at the Pruitt site?
We have, I want to say, 7 or 8 buildings.
Right. I know that. But
you know, we used to share that site with Florida Atlantic University.
Okay.
About 2012, FAU made the conscious decision to not operate 2 campuses in St. Lucie County.
Okay.
So they still have their Harbor Branch campus.
Oh,
up
at
there.
Pruitt?
Well, FAU is still up at Harbor Branch. That's where FAU is. And when they consolidated to one campus, Indian River was the beneficiary of taking over the rest of the joint use campus. So,
I got
so
you.
we've been growing into that, and you know we've had a lot of classroom space, and that's why this made sense to bring the nursing programs down there. You know, we've shelled out a lot of normal classrooms in one of my buildings so we can build state-of-the-art simulation labs.
Wow.
You know, an emergency room, a home health room, trauma, surgery. All of these different things, because if we're going to double the size of our nursing program, there's only so many spaces for practicals inside the hospitals.
Right, and they have to actually touch it and feel it and feel like they're in the setting.
And that's why these state-of-the-art simulation labs help with a lot of the clinical training. It's not a replacement, but it supplements their learning.
Right. Well, and I was amazed. How long is if you know, how long has the Kite Center been? About 10 years?
The Kite Center was dedicated in 2005.
Oh.
And I only know this because I helped Ken write the speech. He was speaking that day at the dedication, and I had only been on the job for a couple weeks. And we had a gentleman come in from one of the agencies in Washington and gave a 45-minute speech. And Ken looked at me and goes, "Don't take it personal." Gets up, talked for 35 seconds, thanked some people, and sat down.
Oh, yeah. But I was amazed. You know, you talk about the virtual operating rooms or whatever, you know, for the nursing program and stuff. But the Kite Center, which is
Kite Center for Emerging Technology.
Emerging Technology. Oh my gosh. I was amazed when I showed up there and all the things it does, and you know, it's like you're in the...
And Diamond, many of our facilities are like adult science museums.
Right.
Where you go in, and in the Kite Center, we've got, you know, small manufacturing that we're teaching students, and we're working on digital media, we're working on cybersecurity. And then you go next door on the Massey campus to the Brown Center, and it's sustainable energy, or nuclear tech training, which is very important to us. I mean, we hold 2 National Science Foundation regional centers at Indian River State College, and that work has been beneficial to the entire southeastern region of the United States.
Well, and don't forget the criminal justice complex with the plane that looks like it's crashed so they can practice.
Right, Don King's plane,
right?
Yeah, working in the office of the president for the first 5 years that went in, we'd still get calls saying someone crashed in your lake. No, it's there on purpose. It's a law enforcement training exercise.
Well, and that has mock courtrooms for training for law enforcement and all of that. I mean, it's just.
We're very fortunate. We have some of the best facilities in the United States. Dr. Moore has come in, and when he saw the Treasure Coast Public Safety Training Complex, he said, this is the best facility I've seen for law enforcement or military training anywhere south of Glencoe, Georgia.
Oh, no question. No question.
And he has opened new doors. Let's bring people in. We want to make sure that we're training our local LEOs as much as possible, but if folks across the state or region need to come in, we're going to support that.
Wow.
You know, it's he and Commissioner Zadowski have been very involved in making sure that we keep the international firefighter games.
Oh, that's,
anything we can do to raise the profile of the area and the college at the same time, we want to be a part of.
Tell me about the Aspen. It's the Aspen Award, right? Because that was a huge, huge, big deal for the college. So what was that?
The Aspen Prize is the pinnacle prize for colleges like us across the United States. I want to say that the first...
And this is across the country. This isn't
correct.
The state of Florida. This is the whole enchilada.
The prize designates the top college like ours in the country. And we had worked very hard to earn that prize. We'd been a leader in higher education for a long time. You know, things that are now best practices across colleges like ours were almost invented at IRSC.
Right.
You know, guided pathways was a novel concept that Indian River helped hone and make a commonplace piece of young people's education as they go forward. So we worked very hard on different efforts to retain more students and get them to persist to the end. And after a couple tries, we were in the top 10, we were in the top 3, and we did in 2019. We were named top college in the nation by the Aspen Institute.
Well, now you submit, if you know, I'm probably out. I'm stumped the guest, right? Is it an application that you submit, and then people come physically to see the campus, or what? How does it work? If you know?
That's correct. It's a large application.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it takes quite some time to fill out. And then once you're in the top 10, a team comes and visits and interviews, and they have a pretty intricate judging process, as far as I know. I mean, that's all behind the scenes. We don't really know how that works out, but it was quite an honor to be. We were named top college in the nation with Miami-Dade College. And Florida colleges are the best in the nation. Yeah. I mean, our Florida college system, we truly are. Valencia was the original Aspen Prize winner. Santa Fe College in Gainesville won 4 years later.
Oh,
and then 4 years after that, Miami-Dade and Indian River. And if I'm not mistaken, Broward College was just named yesterday or the day before.
Oh, really?
As another top 10.
Yeah, I went to law school down there, so I was familiar with the. Oh, yeah, a great college.
And that's what's great, every time Dr. Moore meets with a CEO of a large company, he gets to look, we have a unique combination of things here at the college. We've got high quality, as dictated by the Aspen Prize. We're the lowest cost institution for your public in the nation, as cited by the United States Department of Education.
And because believe it or not, we're going to be out of time in about 5 minutes.
We didn't touch on the promise. We didn't touch on veterans.
I know. I told you.
All right,
well,
Diamond.
You're going to have
I'll
to come
back for part 2.
Okay. I would love that, and I'm serious. Let's talk about the promise.
Sure. Well, look, like we were talking about, lowest cost in the country. 91% of our students graduate with 0 debt. But COVID has hit us hard. We've watched a lot of students disappear. We've worked to get them back. They're not coming back. So with our foundation, we've decided to try something very innovative, and we've offered the IRSC Promise. So every single one of the graduates across our 4 county service districts in a public or a charter high school can come, sign the promise, and get their 2-year degree covered tuition-wise by our foundation. It's a phenomenal program.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. I mean, seriously.
I've had so many parents and students cry on my shoulders because otherwise they would not have been able to go to college. And Dr. Moore called it our moral imperative to try, and that's what we're doing. We've lost a lot of underserved students. We've lost a lot of minority students.
Right.
We're going to make sure that cost isn't a barrier to going where they want to go in life.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased that 3,400 students signed the pledge.
Wow.
We estimate that there's about 6,400 students across our service district in the eligible pool. So more than half, one of every 2 students, has signed up to take advantage of this program, and now we're working every single day to get them applied, to get them registered, and then to still try and get them some federal financial aid on top of what we're offering.
So you're giving them your bottom line is the foundation, IRSC, is paying for the first 2 years of their education.
Right. And
they're going to walk out debt-free and have a 2 year. I mean, think about that.
And the biggest question we get in the community is, well, what's the catch? And really, there's...
Well, I was going to ask
Yeah.
you that, not that okay, come on, tell us really what's going to happen. But when you say the promise, it's a promise to the student, not so much a quid pro quo where we're going to give you this, but we're asked that you stay in the community and work for 2 years or anything like that? No.
The only requirements are that students had to sign up by May 15th.
Okay.
And we were everywhere trying to tell
Oh, I know
everyone
you
that.
were.
They have to be fully registered by July 15th. So we're working hard to make sure that all these students have their applications in. They have to take a full-time load. So
Okay,
they
good.
need to be registered
Yeah.
as a full-time student. If we're going to cover the cost of their tuition, let's make sure that you're progressing
right.
towards your degree on time. They have to meet with an advisor once a semester, and they have to maintain a 2.0 GPA. That's not a lot for a
Wow.
tuition all the way to a 2-year degree.
Now that's incredible. Did Dr. Moore get this from someplace else, or did y'all just come up with this?
Promise programs have been around.
I've never heard of anything like that.
I'll tell you, Diamond, that our new Chief Information Officer, Tim Marshall, came from the Dallas Community College system, and they implemented a program just like this across the Dallas system.
Right.
And we said, well, if Dallas can figure it out, which is larger than the Treasure Coast here,
We certainly
we've
can.
certainly got to be able to figure out a way. So. Look, the program, we're trying to make sure that it's going to be around for a long time. That's probably aside from what's the catch, the second biggest question is it's going to be around next year? I got a junior in the household.
Right,
and,
right.
And the answer is yes. Dr. Moore has
Wow.
committed to make this program go. But we are going to have to work with students, because if they're eligible for federal financial aid, let's have the federal government pay for their.
Right.
That means that our foundation pays less, and we can make the program go longer into the future.
Okay, so if they are eligible for federal funding, that will kick in. If they're not,
Right.
and obviously there is a indigency application or whatever you want to call it, correct?
Right. And that's important to know, is that if you're eligible for federal financial aid, it's great to have that. It'll not only cover your tuition, covers any additional fees, it'll cover all your books, and it'll give you some extra walking around money.
Right.
So,
right.
We want to make sure that if the feds can cover your ticket, that they do.
Right.
And
Right.
and that means that we get to use our funds to pay for next generation of students.
And the college will help the student with both of these things,
Right.
correct?
Absolutely. We have
Wow.
federal financial aid teams on site working with students every single day. Now, one of the biggest questions I also have is, what about Florida prepaid? Well, that's your money, right?
Yeah.
You sock that away. So our tuition will cover before any of that kicks in.
Wow. Well, Andy, we are out of time, and I can't believe it. And we are going to have a part 2 because we didn't touch anything.
Oh, Diamond, we got some exciting things going on in service to veterans. We've got our advanced workforce training complex coming on in 2023. We've got a charter high school in Indiantown about to launch. So please, I will be glad to come back and chat with you again. But this was a pleasure, and it's always great seeing you.
No, always great. Thank you, Andy.